Joe in real life. Squat every day, 136. Look at this. It's early. It's middle of the night early. I got to get to work early. And I don't have much time. And I'll probably get out early. I said early 3 times. But I cannot count on getting my workout in after work. I probably will be able to, and I'll probably do something after work. But I can't count on it. So I got a half hour. I'm going to throw a time lapse on, and I'm just going to build up to a heavy squat. And that's it. And that'll be my morning offering. And if I have the energy and the time when I get home, I'll do an evening one too. But that's that, you know? What else? I decided yesterday I'm going to listen through Tom Waits' discography. So that's what I have in my ears today. People have been asking, they're like, what do you listen to? Normally I listen to a lot of metal, just people screaming at me. I think weightlifters like metal. I don't know. It helps me lift. But I'm a big Tom Waits fan, and I've never listened through his whole discography, which is a thing I like to do. I like to pick certain artists and listen through beginning to end. I'll occasionally jump around, you know, or I'll re-listen to albums that I have listened to. It's kind of a palate cleanser. But I want to listen to Tom Waits. So I'm listening to Closing Time. I'm starting at the beginning, and it's great. That's that. I'm listening to Tom Waits. I'm building up to a heavy single. Stay tuned. So those of you who have spent time on this channel with me will recognize this workout. It's definitely one I've done before. Basically, I have a set amount of time. I have 30 minutes. And I went a little over today. A nice shot of my butt there. It's getting nice and round. Getting that Ivan Jurek butt. And I do 1 rep with the bar. I go up 10 pounds. I do another rep. I have to get it done in 30 minutes. That's obviously not a hard and fast rule. And today, for added challenge, I was listening to Tom Waits' Closing Time. Typically, I listen to this like high energy metal. I've been listening to Tala. I've been listening to Dillinger Escape Plan, which I've been enjoying quite a bit. I wanted to do this today because I was wondering, like, do I need the music to get my blood up? You know? And the avant-garde but mellow tones of Tom Waits, could that excite me in the same way? And it was pretty interesting because it definitely didn't. But it didn't really affect the poundages. At the end, I get up to 215, which, given the pacing and the amount of time spent, is right around where I'd expect to be if I was as charged up and gung-ho to work as you know, as I was listening to Gojira or something. I'm also a big Tom Waits fan, and let's see. I guess my first Tom Waits album was Bone Machine, which a lot of people my age found Bone Machine first. I think it's a 92 album. Real junkyard, real, like, for lack of a better word, a rock album. And yeah, that's a lot of ours first exposure to Tom Waits. Then I went backwards. And I forget the name of the album right now, and I'm really embarrassed, but that great album with Singapore on it. Also excellent. But as a young man, I listened to the bulk of Tom Waits, and I remember listening to Closing Time and just not liking it. Not really thinking a lot of it. It has this sort of tongue-in-cheek folk country kind of bend. And it's almost 50 years old. I think it's a 73 album, maybe 74. And whatever the case, as a young man, I I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it, you know? And I wasn't invested. I liked what's now middle period Tom Waits much better. So that's okay, you know? You can love somebody's music and not love the whole dearth of their music. I mean, look at Bob Dylan. If you love every Bob Dylan song, you're nuts. I mean, some of them are real stinkers. Doesn't mean he isn't fucking great. But, boy, he has 2 gospel albums. Go listen to those gospel albums and come back here and tell me you love Bob Dylan. But on that topic, if you're a Tom Waits fan, please leave a comment, man. I would love to talk to you about Tom Waits. Just in general, I love talking to you guys. Right here, I broke, and I started it back up because the Rockabilly song on Closing Time made me think the album came to an end, and it just auto-played another song from a similar artist. I forget the name of that Rockabilly song, but it was terrible. The worst song on the album by far. I mean, just garbage. There were 3 more songs, if I'm remembering right, and they were excellent. Grapefruit Moon stands out. If you're not a Tom Waits fan, I would recommend this album. I enjoyed it much better than I did as a young man. I've sort of matured and aged into it, I suppose. You may have heard Old 55, but probably the song you know from this album is I Hope That I Don't Fall in Love with You. I think I got that title right. A standout, obviously. By way of critique, and I'm critiquing young man Tom Waits here, he has some really awkward, janky, forced end rhymes that, and I know it's tongue-in-cheek, and I know he's kind of picking a little fun at that folk writing, but they're really cringy. I mean, they're just bad, you know? Now, overall, the writing is excellent. You compare somebody like Tom Waits to, say, Leonard Cohen, and I think Tom Waits is a much better songwriter than Leonard Cohen. I don't believe Tom Waits is a better lyricist than Leonard Cohen. Like, Leonard Cohen's got the words, but as far as words and music coming together thematically, Tom Waits has him all day. Like, he's way more creative, he's way more innovative. And his songs just make sense together. I'm excited to listen through the discography, and depending on whether or not this is boring you, I'll add these album reviews to my lifting. I don't know, maybe that's dumb, but I'm a big music fan. Part of why I love my time in the morning in my garage is because I digest and am nourished by a great deal of music. I took a long break from that one. I think we're at 195 now. Looks great. They look great. I'm starting to like time-lapse too. You know, time-lapse is treating me a lot better as far as being able to assess my movements. This is 205. And then I'm going to switch to my selfie mode video of 215. And I play a little Tom Waits, not from Closing Time, with it. That's for the shorts. But also, I share it in other ways. And YouTube likes this mode, whereas every other platform likes selfie mode. It's annoying. I wish there was a better way to convert. But also, there probably is, and I just don't know it. Anyway, this is Joe in real life. I love you guys. Be good to each other today. And I'm going to try hard to do the same.
Did the devil make the world while God was sleeping? You'll never get a wish from home. Another rock, big pie,